Yeah. Oh, hi, everybody. My name is Elena. I'm an alcoholic. I'm so honored and I'm so happy to be here. I was really looking forward into coming in person because everybody knows how much I like being in person. And I have so many friends in District 8 now, right? And yeah, but like there was an unexpected business meeting like at my work that I wasn't not allowed, but I had to be there. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not in person, but I'm here. And so I really love traditions. I got sober in 2014, April 12th in Russia. And I was really, really lucky to get a sponsor who took me through the steps by the big book and then right away through the traditions and concepts, which is very, very uncommon for Russia. Moreover, I'm going to talk on tradition 12, and this was the tradition who actually helped me stay in AA and follow the suggestions of my sponsor. So even though at that moment I had no idea of the traditions at the very beginning when she was taking me through the steps, and I had no idea about such concepts as humility and safety and unity, but yeah. So I really like looking into long form of the tradition as well. And if you don't mind, I'll quickly read it. So, long form of the tradition 12 states, and finally, we of Alcoholics Anonymous believe that the principle of anonymity has an immense spiritual significance. It reminds us that we're to place principles before personalities, that we are actually to practice a genuine humility. This to the end that our great blessings may never spoil us, that we shall forever live in thankful contemplation of Him who presides over us all. So when I just came to AA, I didn't understand anonymity. I thought it was something about secrecy, but like over time, I learned that it was about something like much deeper than that. So as I already said, it was about humility, safety, unity, and first of all, what this tradition means to me as an alcoholic. So of course, all traditions helped me to they were important, of course, to keep our fellowship for other people who would come. And also, all the tradition helped to me to see like what kind of wasn't fixed by steps. Like, I mean, some things that needed a little bit more work on that. All the traditions helped me like to start communicating normally to people. And tradition 12 protects my sobriety very much. It reminds me that I'm not here to be right or admired or important, unfortunately, because for me at that moment, like and always my ego could quietly take over, yeah, in a very subtle way. Yeah. So and start telling me that everything that I do for the good of AA, and I want to be recognized, I want to be praised, which is not good for me at all. And when I put principles before personalities, I stay. Like I stay sober and I stay in the rooms, even when I am uncomfortable. So many times I was sitting in the rooms and I wanted to roll up my eyes because I know better. And what can these people tell me? This person talks too much, this person something else. But thanks to traditions, I stayed sober. Those people stayed sober. And also tradition 12 helps me behave at my work meetings. People stopped kicking me out. And like when I focus on personalities, I get resentful right away. Uh, I didn't like my first sponsor at all, but we didn't have any other. So I probably, yeah, my story was that I was walking from meeting to meeting. We had about 50 meetings at the time in St. Petersburg, but nobody could sponsor it. Like people said, like, we don't know what to do. Yeah. And when there was a person who came into the rooms, finally, when I was actually about to leave and I think die, there was a person who came into the rooms and she was saying something that other people were not saying. And instantly I came to this person. But at the same time, I was looking at her and I thought, I don't like what she looks like. I don't like what she wears. I don't like that she has too many children, and so many, so many things. But not everyone in AA is easy to like. I am not easy to like. At the very beginning, I was crazy, and I am crazy at times. And people disappoint me. They trigger me, and still, I'm not saying that I don't get disappointed and triggered, but Tradition 12 helps me to understand that I'm here for recovery, and at the same time, I'm here not for approval. And I don't have to like everyone to learn from them. So that's how I stayed and how I started learning from my sponsor and follow suggestions. Um, it's like at the same time, this tradition teaches me humility and not silence. Uh, Anonymity doesn't mean that I have to disappear. Uh, it just means that my recovery isn't about like recognition. I'm not gonna have a badge for that or like, yeah. So I can serve, I can share, I can show up, and I don't need any validation for that, right? And the most important thing that this tradition taught me is that I can do the next right thing when nobody notices. Yeah. Even when sometimes I want everybody to notice. I do think. So what anonymity really means for me is um, it's not being ashamed or hiding recovery. If I see somebody dying of alcoholism at my work, for example, of course I would go straight to this person and break my anonymity right away. So I had several occasions, I had several situations. I remember I had a student, a woman, like a grown-up woman, I mean, like not a kid. And like she would come to me every day for class, and I would see that something was going on with her, and she was very upset about her daughter, and she was saying things that not directly, but I would understand that her daughter struggled with addiction. And then I asked her, maybe there is a way I could help. And she said, how can you help my daughter? She's a drug addict. And that's when I told her about AA. And by the way, her daughter is sober now. She had difficulties. I think she was in and out of the meetings for like 4 years or so. But yeah, but she's sober now. Isn't it great? And so for me, anonymity is protecting other people's stories and letting a message standing on its own and then keeping my ego out of recovery. So what is very important for me when I came to A is that I realized that nobody's and no one person is the authority. No one sobriety is better than another's. Uh, Personalities usually divide us, principles unite us. So first tradition, as we know about unity, and all other traditions are intended for keeping this unity, maintaining it. And um, also, A is not about like whether I like someone or not. It's about principles to be practiced. And same thing, like business meetings at in I disagree, but I stay anyway, right? Oh, it never happened to me. If I disagree, I would fight. Yeah, and I would think that my opinion is the only one that matters, but now I truly don't think so, really. Like, and then, like Tradition 12 taught me how to shut up and listen, which I couldn't do. Uh, and the main thing is to listen to for the message and not the messenger, kind of. Yeah. And it helped me a lot in my life, in my family, at work. with my child because I have a teenager, and so and I oftentimes when we talk, I start thinking, what can she know? She doesn't have any experience or something, but she often says very wise things that I don't say and that I don't think. So, my sobriety, is not going to be affected by someone else. Yeah. So, until I let it be, kind of. And um, when I start thinking about other people and start judging them, I'm no longer practicing the principles. I'm practicing control, judgment, and ego. And I really wanted to control everything and everybody. And it doesn't work, as we know. Never, it never worked. So, uh, humility, if we talk about humility, it's something that I don't come by naturally at all. I didn't even know what it was before I came into the program. It helps us to remember that I am not the program. I'm not. And uh, my experience isn't more important than somebody else. And uh, also, what I wanted to pay attention to is anonymity really helps newcomers. Uh, it protects them because it makes first of all, a safe place. Newcomers can share without fear and they can come back without shame. That's when I just came to it. It was the first time in my life when I felt safe. I was really scared to go to my first meeting because I lived in that small area of St. Petersburg. And I was a teacher who taught generations of people, and I worked at a language school. And at the same time, I had students who were adults and their kids, and many, many people knew me. And I thought if I come to a meeting, necessarily there would be somebody looking at me and seeing that I'm an AA and telling everyone about it. But people told me, you told me that if somebody comes to an AA meeting, there would be people like me asking for help. We all are united with the same problem. And honestly, I never met anybody that I knew before. And now, even if I met, that's great. And now, by the way, I see lots of people from AA at my work, janitors, helpers, colleagues. So once in a while, I see someone. Isn't it great? And also, Tradition 12 helps me. It reminds me that I also belong. Even though I have to shut up and listen to other people, I do belong. Nobody's gonna kick me out. I don't have to earn my seat, and I don't have to perform recovery. I just have to practice the principles the best I can. And sometimes I'm not the best example, but I'm trying really hard. For an alcoholic like me, like, I mean, where I am now, that's a very big gap in between what I was and what I am like now. People stop running away from me. So just I wanted to wrap it up to say, like I am sober by remembering that I am the one among many and I am equal, I am imperfect, and I'm still learning. And this is exactly how this program continues to save lives, I think. And thanks for letting me share. Thank you so much.